You've heard of Queen Esther, the woman who stood before a king to save her people. You've heard of King David, the shepherd boy who became a giant slayer and a king. But have you ever heard of Jehosheba? She wasn't a queen. She didn't hold a sword. She had no army, no crown, and no power. But one day she stood up when no one else would. When a wicked queen ordered the murder of every royal child, Jehosheba made a choice. A dangerous, life-threatening choice. She ran, she hid, she risked everything to save one baby boy. That boy would later wear the crown. This is the untold story of a woman who defied death, protected the promise of God, and helped preserve the bloodline that would lead to Jesus. This is the story of Jehosheba. Hello, family lamp. Welcome back to today's video. To our new subscribers, welcome back, and to our returning subscribe, welcome back and thank you for your support. Without wasting time, let's start today's video. After King Ahaziah of Judah died, the throne was empty. His mother, Queen Athaliah, saw an opportunity. She wasn't grieving, she was planning. To take the throne, she would need to wipe out every child with royal blood, including her own grandchildren. Soldiers were sent, babies were pulled from their mothers. The palace became a house of blood. Athaliah wanted to erase the royal line of David forever. But God had other plans. Watching from the shadows was Jehosheba, daughter of King Joram, sister of the murdered King Ahaziah. She saw what Athaliah was doing. She knew she couldn't stop the army, but she could save one child, a baby boy named Joash, just 1 year old, and she knew that if she didn't act now, he would be killed next. Jehosheba ran to the nursery, heart pounding. She found Joash, tiny, afraid, unaware of the danger outside. She picked him up, wrapped him tightly in cloth, and held him close. Then, with boldness only God could give, she walked through the palace, past the guards, past the blood, past death itself, and into the arms of safety. Jehosheba took the baby to the temple of the Lord, where her husband Jehoiada the priest helped her hide him behind the altar, in a secret chamber. They protected the child. For 6 years, Joash lived. In hiding, Athaliah ruled the land with fear and darkness. But God's promise was growing quietly, behind temple walls. When Joash turned 7, Jehoiada said, "Now is the time." He gathered the priests and commanders. He showed them the boy, and the people gasped, "The king is alive." They formed a plan to restore him to the throne. On a holy day, the temple was full. The boy was brought out and crowned. Trumpets blasted, people cheered, priests shouted, "Long live the king." Athaliah heard the noise and rushed to the temple. When she saw the boy wearing a crown, she screamed, "Treason, treason!" But her time was up. She was captured, her evil reign ended, and Joash, the baby once hidden in fear, became king. Jehosheba's name is small in the Bible, but her actions were massive. From her story, we learn 4 powerful lessons. 1. God uses ordinary people for extraordinary purposes. Jehosheba had no throne, no title, but God used her to save a king. That means you don't need to be famous to do something that matters to God. Real courage is doing what's right, even when it's risky. She knew the danger. She could have stayed silent, but courage isn't about being fearless. It's about choosing faith over fear. 3. Your small obedience can protect God's big plan. She saved one baby. That's it. But that baby carried the line of David, the line that led to Jesus. One step of obedience can echo into eternity. 4. What you do in secret, God honors in eternity. Jehosheba never asked for credit. She never stood in the spotlight, but her name is written in scripture forever. God sees what the world forgets. Because of Jehosheba, Joash lived. Because Joash lived, God's promise to David was not broken. And from David's line came the greatest king of all, Jesus Christ. Jehosheba didn't know the full picture. She just obeyed God in the moment, and that obedience changed history. You may feel small, overlooked, hidden, but so was Jehosheba, and God used her in a mighty way. Thank you for joining the family lamp today. If this story of kindness, faith, and hope touched your heart, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe. Remember, even when things seem hard, God's light can shine through kindness and love. Come back soon for more stories that will warm your heart and brighten your day. Until next time, keep shining bright, trust in God's miracles, and always choose kindness.